Question 37. The diagram shows a part consisting of two equilateral triangles. The shaded triangle is a grass section. All measurements on the diagram are in meters. How long will it take to mow the grass section if it takes 5 minutes to mow 20 meters squared? Give your answer to the nearest minute. So if we look at this, big equilateral triangle and a smaller one inside, and all of these triangles here, they're all equal. So like we can just basically use one of them and base our working out off that. So since this is an equilateral triangle, all these angles in the corners are going to be 60 degrees because the sum of interior angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So I'm just going to look at this triangle in the corner because it's the easiest one just to visualize, and I'm going to redraw it here so we can annotate on it and it doesn't become a mess. So this is 9, this is 3, this angle was 60, this is an unknown side, and that unknown side represents one of the sides of the smaller equilateral triangle. So I am interested to see what this value equals. Now, the two known sides also have a known angle in between them, which means we can use the cos rule. So what I'm going to do is x squared, so instead of putting c, I'm putting x because that's what I've labeled as my unknown angle, equals 3 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 3 times 9 times cos 60. And if we simplify this, the 3 squared plus 9 squared equals 90 minus, and the rest here equals 27, which equals 63. And therefore, just x, if we square root this, is going to be the square root of 63. So this side here is the square root of 63. Now, I want you now to pay attention to this triangle here. Just half of the interior triangle, right? If we now look at the other half, we flip that and we move it across, it will take this shape. So if we want to find the area of this internal triangle, all we need to do is multiply half of the base times the height, right? This is the formula for a triangle, for the area of a triangle. So the formula for the area of the triangle equals half the base times the height. But we only know the base and we know the hypotenuse. We don't know the height, right? So if we want to try and find the height, we could potentially use Pythagoras' theorem. In fact, we are going to use Pythagoras' theorem. So Pythagoras' theorem is a squared equals b squared plus c squared. I'm just going to remove this for now because that's going to come in later. Okay. So a squared is going to be the hypotenuse, and we know the hypotenuse because it's the same as this long side. It's going to be the square root of 63. So the square root of 63 squared equals b squared. Let's make b squared the height of the triangle, plus square root of 63 divided by 2, right? Because we only want half the triangle, and all that is squared. So if we want to find b squared, we will do b squared equals square root of 63 over 2 squared sorry, we are going to do, I got them the wrong way around. So we are going to do the square root of 63 squared minus the square root of 63 on 2 squared. And then to get b, we're just going to square root all of that. So it's going to be, if we were to square the square root of 63, that'll be 63 minus, and then if we square this, we'll square the root of 63, which is 63, and then we square the denominator as well, 4, right? So all of this simplified, and then to get the b squared to a b, we have to square root the entire thing. And this, in its most simple form, without doing anything fancy like decimals or a number and a square root is going to be 189 on 4 meters. So this is the value of the height. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's section this off. Now we want to do the area equals half the base times the height. So area equals half of the base, which the whole base was a square root of 63, times the height, which is going to be 189 on 4 square root of that. And that is going to be equal to 11907 on 4 square root. Okay, so what I've done here, once again, I'm trying to keep like all these numbers in their non-rounded format. Like I don't want to put them in decimals or anything to reduce rounding errors and stuff. So this number here is a square root of 63 times the square root of 189 over 4, right? And then all of this is going to be over 2, because if we multiply the half in, it's just all over 2. And this is in meters squared. So the area of the triangle is this, okay? It's a lot. Make sure you put this in your calculator very carefully. Otherwise, what you can do is you can put it in your calculator, keep it in decimal form, and just use the function where you can just write ants, A-N-S, and then do your next step. But after this, so we have the area. It says how long will it take to mow the grass section if it takes 5 minutes to mow 20 meters squared. So we want to see, like this number is going to be, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 something, right? If we actually look at it in a decimal, you can have a look at it if you'd like in your own calculator. We want to see how many lots of 20 there are. So what I'm going to do, so let's section this off again, is 11907 on 4 square root that all over 2, right? Just the complex version of this. And we're going to divide that by 20. And then we're going to get an answer, right? And then after that, we're going to multiply that by 5 because it takes 5 minutes to mow every lot of 20. So once we get that answer from our calculator, that's going to be 13.6399 minutes to 4 decimal places. But it's asking us to answer this question, give your answer to the nearest minute. So the nearest minute is going to equal 14 minutes to the nearest minute.